My name is Alexander Ryzhkov. You can call me just Alex. I'm working in IT consulting for almost 16 years. Right now I'm working in fintech company IT Contact, and we're basically making some fintech products for our partners who are working with the mortgage business. Do you know what mortgage means? Okay, a bit later when we will talk a bit more about business, I will put some, some terms there, so I think we'll figure it out. By the way, guys, are you able to hear me very well? It's loud enough. Okay. Around 8 years, I worked in software testing area. Probably you know what does it mean. This is like, just testing of some software. I've been working with a lot of different companies. Then I moved to project management role. I was responsible for some projects that basically like business digital transformation in some way. And as IT consultant in different roles, I worked with Macy's, American Eagle. Do you know what Macy's and American Eagle Outfitters? This is basically US-based company, US retailers. American Eagle Outfitters is also US retailer, and for them I was making something like, loyalty program. I was responsible for testing loyalty program. So if we know right now that you did not, but if you would buy something from American Eagle like 5 years ago, you would use this loyalty program, which been tested by my team. And I worked with Raymond James and Align Technology. Do you know what Align Technology is? Do you know what aligners?
It's like merch.
Yeah. So you know Billie Eilish, right? And do you know some bad guy? At the beginning or at the end, she talked with her brother and she said, oh, I need to put off my aligners, something like that. So this is Align Technology. Here you go. Okay. So as you can see, I'm IT guy. And when I start thinking about what I can talk about, I decided that I will talk about what I understand. I will talk a little bit about practice, about how to work with business in terms of business digitalization. So let's move on. This is the plan of today's conversation. So basically, I will start with IT consulting. What is it? How business works with it? Why do we need IT consulting? And so on. I hope it will not be too boring. Then we will move, and during this part, we will even discuss some software development methodologies. You probably heard that, waterfall, agile, but I will describe you why do you need to know that, why do you need to understand what does it mean. Then we will discuss digitalization in the field of fintech. So basically we will discuss mortgage business, and we will discuss how IT can support mortgage business, so how can we make some digital transformation in this area. And if we have time, we will discuss some other business cases of business digitalization. I have some interesting stuff to discuss. Hope it will be interesting for you. One important thing. So my goal is not just to be here and talk about anything. I hope that it will be interesting and useful for you. So this is the plan. But if during the conversation you will have any questions, we can dig deeply into any topic you want. So just raise your hand, ask your questions, and then we will discuss probably even something else. So first of all, let's start with IT consulting as a digitalization driver. So I think it will be easier for us to understand how to work with IT consulting if we start thinking about that like a business owners. Let's right now choose any kind of business you want. Do you have any ideas? Any business? I don't know, food, retail, whatever. Restaurant. Okay, let's restaurant is an interesting topic. Anything else? Retail. Cars. Like selling cars or building cars or what? Selling cars. Okay. Distribution. Okay. Okay, we can choose something of that. So I will remove retail from the list only because one thing, because I have an example for retail, and it will be not very interesting if we talk about retail, then retail again, so that is why. selling car or restaurants? What?
HR?
Sorry? Agencies?
Like HR or PR?
Too complicated. Well, if this is service.
Beauty services?
Beauty services, also interesting. A bit, no, we can talk about digitalization there, but I think probably, here, restaurants and selling car, this is not just services, this is also some products, right? So this is a bit more complicated, a bit more interesting. So let's choose something of that. So restaurant was first, so we will choose restaurant if you don't mind. Okay, so we have restaurant business. Let's think about that from business perspective. So what do we have? We have, like if we have one restaurant, we have a place where we're making some service. But we need to, we are selling food at the end, food and service. So we need to have some suppliers, supply channel. Then it all goes to our stores, and we have some service in here, right? Yeah, and this is basically it, but here we have a lot of different things, and here we have a lot of different things. So let's assume that at some point of time, we start thinking about, okay, we are like, have some suppliers, but we're getting bigger. We have one more restaurant. We need one more restaurant to open, and it's getting more complicated, to put all this information in some documents. So we need some digitalization. What can we start from? Yeah, this. So basically, the first thing, an obvious thing we can do is like obtain external tool, like ERP and CRM. Do you know what ERP and CRM stands for? So basically, yeah. So basically, yeah, you will hear a lot of these words going forward for sure. Like in any place you will work. So this is some basic stuff. So ERP, this is enterprise resource planning. So here, resources which we are using, to produce some food, to produce some services. What kind of resources do we have? We have like food ingredients, right? And we have, resources, basically people who are making stuff for us based on these ingredients. And like talking about ingredients, we are working today, we will work tomorrow, we will work the day after tomorrow. So right now, we need to think about ingredients for tomorrow. But if we buy too many ingredients, like for, I don't know, for tomorrow, for going forward, we will just, they will just be all like put to trash because the food needs to be fresh. That is why we need to plan like accordingly. So we need to have some suppliers, agreement with suppliers, when these people will bring us food, when we will use this food and all this stuff. And basically, ERP, this is kind of system that helps us to manage all this stuff. There are a lot of different systems like on external market for any kind of business. You can buy something, you can use something, and so on. CRM, this is basically customer relationship management tool. For us, it also can be actual because we have people who are like going to our restaurants, right? These are basically our customers. If we know the contacts of these people, we can use like these contacts for sending some marketing events. I'm pretty much sure you receive a lot of this boring stuff, right? SMS and all this stuff. So thanks to CRM system for that. Okay. So that is why, so what we can do, we can just buy any kind of this system or both of these systems because basically it's covered here and CRM covers here of list of contacts. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know, every business in like even in the same area has its own specifics. So basically, if you right now, and if we right now go, for shopping to choose some CRM on ERP, there is a big chance we will not be able to find something that perfectly fits our needs. So basically, this is some core, like, here is the list of features which ERP can provide us, but we need like something different. For example, we are providing catering services as well, not just restaurant. But ERP will not allow us to do that because it stands only for, for food servicing and all this stuff inside our restaurant. So we need like to adjust this ERP somehow, and so on. So basically, there is no single solution in most ways that will help us, to buy some software and use it software and say that, okay, we are digitalized enough. Every time you need to do something else with that. So in this case, you have like second option, right? You can just create like program software internally for your specific needs. You are you know your business best. You know how to digitalize your business. So you can just, hire some developers and create it from scratch. It's a good thing. However, like guys, do you understand how to build the whole system from scratch? Me neither. So it's a huge amount of work, right? So where to start? And basically, we can just hire good folks, like with some experience, some managers, some test leads, and so on, and try to build something. But this is first very complicated way. It can be costly, right? Because these guys, they have pretty high salaries usually. And this can be risky. Why risky? I will talk a little bit more about that, but just remember that what you think you need at the beginning does not necessarily what you really need. And you can understand this too late. This is how like actual life works. So there is one more option, basically IT consulting. What IT consulting means, you probably know this. These are big companies that provide IT services. So we can go to this IT company and say that, okay, guys, we need to create our system, something like ERP, but not really ERP. We need to have a lot of different additional functions there and so on. This guy then can say, okay, let us think about that. We will take this team, we will discuss with you like all the possible features, and we will create this like this software for you like in, I don't know, in 6 months or something like that. And why this can be a good approach? Because we are like restaurant business. We know how to serve food, how to prepare good food, but we don't know how to digitalize our business. But these guys, all they're doing, they are digitalizing someone's business. And if you're lucky enough, they already digitalized one of your competitor. They know all these features and then can do pretty much the same for you or even better. So if you be good enough at negotiations. So basically, that is why it's good. However, you can even mix this approach. You can say, okay, guys, let's start together, but we will also have our own team who will work on that and so on. Let's talk about this a bit more in detail. These are two ways of work with IT consulting companies. Basically, this outstaffing and outsourcing. You probably heard a lot of these words. It's not only in IT. We will discuss quickly what does it mean for IT. So basically, outstaffing, it's like when you have a team of 5 people, but you need a couple more of specific skill set. And you, by some reason, don't want or cannot hire those people from external market. You can come to IT consulting company and say, okay, I need guys with this skill set, with this experience, who can do like this and this and this. And all you will do, they will not even be working in your company. You will not be paying salary for them. But you will be paying like hourly rate for this person to this IT consulting company. The second approach is outsourcing. This means that you are going to IT company, to IT consulting company and saying, okay, guys, I need to make like this system. Here you go. Let's make it for me. What is the difference between this approach, like principal difference for you to understand? It's here. Delegating. In outstaffing, you are delegating task. You are getting person, but it's your responsibility, to put what this person will do, how good this person works, and even people management, motivation. Something bad happened and this person stopped working, so it's your problem. In the second approach, outsourcing, you are sharing the responsibility with IT consulting, basically. You don't even don't even want to know how many people will work on your project, who will be these people and all this stuff. all you need to know is that the final result will be this, what you discussed, and you will receive it like in some time, and you will pay for this some amount. Right now, let's talk about like interesting thing about payments. So do you have any ideas how much IT consulting costs?
Per hour?
Or per hour, for example.
5,000 crowns per hour, maybe per person, something like that.
This could be, it's pretty close. Basically, let's talk about this in dollars, because like usually people, well, not in Russia, but on average, they're talking in dollars, but you were pretty close. So, depending on the level of specialist, on a specific skill set, 1 hour of work can be cost like from $20 to $150 and more. And we're talking about only developers. This does not mean that developer will gain all this salary, but the company will ask you as a business owners to pay this money. What does it mean for us as a business? This means that if we choose outstaffing, we'll need to pay for this person $40 per hour. But what if we need project team, and typical project team, let's say like seven people, let's say that it will be for 1 hour $250, and let's say that team will work like for 2 weeks. It will cost $20,000. So basically, this is like a huge money, right? And do you know what this team will be able to do for 2 weeks? Well, they will be able to do something, but it will not solve your problem. So basically, 4 months project, which can be typical project, will cost you like $250,000. Why we are discussing that? Because business digitalization can cost a lot, right? And we need to be prepared for that. But this is like our life, you know? This is not about, you know, digitalization because we like this word. This is about we're doing something, we're having some goal. Increase our business, you know, increase accuracy of making decisions. Or just, you know, in modern world, you cannot just almost live without business digitalization. This means that if you're making a choice, you need to think about, you know, what is your goal, how you will achieve your goal, how much you will invest, and what you will receive at the beginning. And this is a business problem. And business needs help, you know, to resolve this problem. Sometimes business comes to you, to IT consulting company, and business wants to spend some money because there is a budget. If you will not be able to spend the budget this year, next year we will have less budget. You know, there is another world there. And you need to describe to business what business really needs. And this is what I told you, that what you think you need right now probably does not really what you need at the end. Sometimes the job of business consulting is, you know, is to do a job really good, even if your customer don't really want that. But this is the life. One example about spending money. So basically, from business perspective, we need to understand what we will pay for. What kind of work will be done by engineering team? Let me provide you an example. Like I'm from K area, I told you, and there is a manual K when person just testing stuff. And there is another approach, K automation, when you just create a script, and this script executes like, you know, some program which tests actually like computer clicking by its own, like making automated testing. Great thing. Let's review how much it costs. Probably, you understand that, like, you know, to test something on site, it's not like the rocket science, right? Almost everyone can do that. That is why usually, like, people who can do this job, it's about $20, something about that per hour. People who can do QA automation usually like about $40. But, you know, to make some single test case, to execute some single test case, you need, I don't know, like 10 minutes of your time, let's say. Like, you know, let's say like $3.
I'm sorry. It's too late. It's not possible.
So here you go, $3. But to create automated tests. So basically, you need to create small program. You'll spend like 4 hours for a single test case. It will cost like, I don't know, $160, right? As we agreed. And we're a business. And IT consulting saying to us and coming to us and saying, okay, we will do QA automation for you. The first thing I would say, no, you will not do QA automation for you. For $3, yes, please, but not for like 160. But why QA automation is better than manual testing in some cases? Any ideas?
When we have a lot of similar products, we should test it multiple times.
Yes, not even like a lot of similar products, but to understand that, we need to understand how many times you will execute this manual test, right? So basically, for a single execution, yeah. But let's say this is number of executions. Let's say like if we need to execute it 2 times. Okay, so it's $6, but here this single test case does not cost you $160. It costs you $80, right? 3 times. But you get the point, right? The cost of manual testing will be increased and the cost of automation testing will be decreased. One more thing, important thing. When you're making test automation, you can build some kind of what called CI/CD pipeline or whatever, but this is like, you don't need this, need to know these words. So basically, when a developers team making some stuff, at some point of time, they like produce this stuff to business, and business wants to check this. Before this period, there is a step of testing, because like it's a bad practice if you like provide your program, business clicks one time, and everything is broken, right? You will not receive your money in this case. So basically, pipeline means that once development team finish the development, they can click one button. This code goes, to some stage, to some site. You can check it. You can click another button. We will start tests execution, and like in several minutes, we receive the results. Here you go. But for manual testing, you will need a lot of time for this. So this is the difference. Why this is important to understand it? Because like when you're paying money, you need to understand what kind of work you expect. And this is the difference between different roles. Okay, let's quickly talk about IT project development methodologies. Do you know what is agile, what is waterfall? Cool, so that is great. Why agile is so popular these days?
More fast.
What fast?
You can change anytime you want in any stage. You can change and you can take feedback and you can revise it. Like it's
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And also all the employees, they can get their autonomy because they don't need to listen to their boss. They can just make decisions on the things that they are doing right now, because sometimes they can put all of their choices into the work that they are doing. Yeah, they can just maximize their knowledge and skills onto the things that they are doing right now. They don't need to listen to any.
This is a good thing, and good to know that. The problem is this not always in reality working this way, but this is good, that. Yeah, so basically, you can receive, you can be more flexible, right? But the problem is that, again, here, what we think we have at the beginning, we need at the beginning, doesn't necessarily what we really need. Basically, when we're talking about waterfall, here is our requirement. Here is design, and these 2 phases, let's say for 6 months project, these 2 phases can be like 3 months, After you like agree on everything, you start development here, and then testing here, and here in 6 months, we are looking at a program, which does not really what I wanted at the beginning, but the second problem is that like our world keeps changing all the time. Business keeps changing. We need to do something else. And basically, at some point of time, we need to make some changes. And we cannot do changes, almost cannot do changes here, but we can do changes here. That is why Agile is so popular, because it helps business to receive like fast feedback turnaround. Okay, I think good enough for this. Let's talk a little bit about like real business case about IT contact specific. We will talk about mortgage business. Foreign mortgage business. Basically, to understand like what kind of digitalization we can do there, we need to understand the business first, right? So right now will be some stuff you'll need to analyze and think about. By the way, guys, I doubt, but just in case, is anyone ever faced with a mortgage?
Yes.
Okay, so I have the second one right now, so I understand it. Well, it's not a problem, but just wondering. So basically, we will talk.
I did it twice.
Oh yeah, so am I. But it's good experience, right? When you're closing this. Before we proceed, let me, we don't need our restaurant any longer. Sorry for that. We decided to close our business. Right now, we are a lender company. Loan, this is like, what is the loan is? This is a money which you borrow and you expect to have a loan plus some, interest rate. Interest rate basically percentage, right, on your money. Conditions and like $100 for 1 year for 10% interest rate. This is $10. Like I'm getting $100. I should return back $110. Mortgage. This is a loan for real estate. We understand that. And the lender. This is a party which borrows money. I think this is all we need to know at the beginning. So let's talk about loan participants. To discuss the business, let's talk about like parties that are involved in this business. Why I ask you about like being involved in mortgage here in Russia, because it's a bit different, and there are a lot of differences actually. So let's discuss. The borrower. The person who wants to have real estate don't have enough money, who actually needs money, right? We all can be borrowers. The lender, this is the party which can lend you money. And in Russia, it's always banks. In other countries, it works different way. It can be like some other private company. And this is like company, our partner is a lender, basically. So we are let's assume that we are here. It's all of us, lender. The broker, this is basically mediator between the borrower and the lender. Why do we need broker, basically? If you've ever faced with a mortgage, you understand that before, to apply for a mortgage, you need to fill in the application full of 300 pages, and then you need just 5 million kilos of documents. You'll bring it to the lender. Lender will review all this stuff. And then probably if lender has a good mood, he'll be able to borrow you some money. So this is a huge amount of paperwork. But the second problem is that there are a lot of different programs. Like program for a specific area, program for a specific group of people, program, for military or whatever. A lot of different programs. And we just, come on, I just need, to buy a house. I don't need to know all this stuff. And people usually don't know. That is why you are going to the broker, and broker is the person who knows this stuff. It's his or her job to describe you. Okay, here you go. Here, okay, I see your income. Probably you will be able to receive this amount of money. Oh, I see what you want to buy. Probably we will be able to choose this program. And then broker can work with a lot of lenders. And then broker can choose lender to whom we will apply for the mortgage. So basically, what we need to understand at this point, lender works with the broker, not with the person. So broker, this is like also business, kind of business. And the broker works with the lender. So they can work like a broker with a lot of different lenders and lender with a lot of different brokers. That is how things works. And then investors. This is also interesting. In Russia, we have a bit different approach. Here, what does it mean? So lender, we have like $1 million. Some person came to us, ask for $100,000, we provided this money. The next person asked for $500 million, we provided this money. So we have $400,000 We cannot make our business in this case. But the good thing is there are people, investors, who are ready to pay money, for these loans as a products. So let's talk about this as an investment, like you're buying some stocks on the market. So this is something like that. So basically, investors, they are ready to buy some good, good loans, and they're okay, to receive money in 20 years or in 30 years, but more money. That is why, as lenders, once we borrow some money, we can, sell this stuff, this loan, closed loan, to the investors. That is who are investors and why do we need them. And now, let's talk about business. I'm sorry for this. This is really complicated, but without this, we will not be able, to analyze, to understand digitalization. So basically, origination phase. This is the very first phase when the borrower comes to the broker. They take all these documents, fill in the application, and apply to the lender. And here, red, the lender starts. This is our job. This is our business starts here. First stage, disclosures. Disclosure, so there are some obligations for us as a lenders, right? We cannot just, just get application and reply nothing. Once person got all these documents, personal documents, filled in the application, submitted the application, we need to respond with something. And basically this means that we need to say, hey man, we reviewed your documents, it's kind of ok for the program that you're applying for, and this is the interest rate probably you will get. And we need to do that within 3 business days. This is a strict rule. So it's a huge amount of work here within 3 business days. Once we completed that, we're checking all these documents and application, go to another room and say, hey, this underwriter, here you go, it's your job right now. Who is underwriter? Underwriter is the crucial part in the business. Basically, this is the person who is reviewing all these documents, evaluating risks, and saying that, yeah, we will proceed with that, we will borrow money, or no, we will not go here because risks are too high. How they're making these decisions, based on what, this is an interesting topic, but we will not be able to dig into this unless you will ask me, But not right now. Once underwriting completed the job, underwriter says that, okay, I verified everything. This person really works for, for Amazon. And yeah, this guy really has this income, and he usually pays his debt, so looks kind of ok. Then we are going to the closing stage. Basically, closing, this is like finalizing the deal. There is a closing day, which means that in this day, we are as the law owners and the borrower sit together in the room, signing the document, receiving the money, and here you go, and you can start paying your mortgage. And then is post-closing. What is post-closing? Remember I told you about investors. Investors, to buy the loan, the closed loan, they need to be sure that everything is good with this loan. That there are no error in documentation, that you really, provided the underwriting and the person will pay the money. Everyone, wants to receive the money. And basically, the post-closing stage is the stage when we are verifying all these 3,000 million documents, saying that, okay, kind of good. If there are some errors, we're fixing these errors. And then we're saying to investors that, okay, it looks good, you can buy it. They want to buy it, and so on. This is kind of quite different business, huge business. We'll not discuss this as well. And then is servicing. Servicing, basically, when the person receives the loan, the person can start pay for this loan. And the servicing, this is basically this stage. You're paying every month. If you're not paying, someone will call you. If you have any questions, you can ask for questions. This is servicing, all this part. Okay, here is a business. Any questions? You probably could have the question like how we are getting money in this case. If we are just, borrowed some money, and then we're just sell it for the same price to the investor. Yes?
About the borrower and investor. Is it different? Why the borrower is not investor?
Well, the borrower, the person who wants to purchase real estate. You want to live somewhere, right? Investor, the person with a lot of money, who already living somewhere, he don't need to get money. He needs to invest his money, not to lose money, but even to to get some money in some time. So investor, basically person who want to become richer, and the borrower, the person who want to live in his own apartment. So this is the difference. So how we are making business here, basically. Because in this process here, we are asking money from borrower for all our work here. So basically, the person, when he is taking the loan from us, will pay us some money, some percent of money for all our work. This is how this business works in other countries, some other countries. So basically, this means that we are receiving money, our business is doing this stuff. We have some loans which people are paying to us, and we're also getting money there, but basically the main business is like this. Okay, any other questions?
Is it possible for borrower to escape this one in other countries?
You mean escape the process in the middle?
No, just he asked himself.
Oh, to go to lender?
Come directly.
Yes, there is some options. It's complicated, it has a lot of stuff, but yeah, there are some options. And
Is it kind of more available to be involved with the stage and to pay some percentage for loaner and for broker work?
the problem is that
What is the money?
what we're paying for usually? We're paying for something we don't know, right? For some services we don't know, we don't really understand. And that is what usually the borrowers do. Because basically, there are a lot of different lenders who can provide you the money for the same amount of, pretty much the same amount of percents. But you need to understand how to fill in all applications, which documents to get, right? How to do it in the right way. So if you are good enough in these knowledges, yeah, for sure, you can go directly to lender, and our company partner actually working with that. So it's not a problem. But the percentage of such people, it's pretty really low, because people usually are afraid of. And the second thing is sometimes this is dependent on program and dependent on the lender. Sometimes the borrower are not paying for a broker. Sometimes it's being paid by lender, depending on some circumstances. Yes?
What happens if the lender decides to give the mortgage probably out of maybe some fixed deposits that it has, and it's not selling this mortgage to investors? You get my point?
So you mean like, what if we're not selling this to investor? We will receive the money.
No, I mean, when we are providing the mortgage, we are financing this mortgage.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, would there be an extension? Because right now you said we are between the servicing and the
Origination, yeah. Basically,
I mean, how does the work continues from there, from post-closing, if we are not selling this?
it's a good question. This is also our part. We also can do this. Not every lender can do this, but we are our partner. We can do this servicing, and we still have, some mortgages, some loans which we are servicing, and we're receiving money. And also, this is actually a good question. And also, these provide us a chance, to sell this service to investors. as well, right? Because you still need to have servicing for every loan, even if you sell this loan. So we can do this for some kind of loans. We will not receive money, but we will do the job. Any other questions? Okay, now I will ask you a question. So, okay, here is our process. What can we digitalize? What can we do? For disclosure, for documents. I will put your assumptions here. Who knows? Who knows? We will discuss later. I will not comment any assumptions. I will just put it here. What else?
We can digitalize all these red color processes, I think, in some database, like maybe some ERP, some program that can help us to have our documents in all processes and also to resolve it.
I will put it. Understood. Your point is understood. Something like ERP, digitalize, automate all these processes. Understood. Understood. Okay. Any other? Yes.
Maybe implement an online signing.
Online signing. Pretty risky stuff in our days with this, artificial intelligence like fakes and all this stuff. But yeah. Oh, gosuslugi, this is our fishka only. Not any other country has this. Signing. What else?
Underwriting also can be, so not the person will check all the documents. Maybe we have the system when we can send automatically some requests to the job of the person, to the bank, and to
Understood. Understood. Makes sense. Okay.
So maybe there are systems that can help compare those documents about closing, post-closing. So if we're trying to understand their legitimize those systems, those documents. So we can use comparators that help.
This can be, yes. One thing we didn't mention actually. Servicing. Who are our customers, basically, with whom we are working as the lenders? The normal people, but these normal people play in different roles, right? This can be normal people borrowers, or can be normal people brokers. But whatever, actually, you are good enough. You get almost all points. Exactly. Our ERP called a loan origination system, which basically automate all the steps. You don't need to take all these documents. You have some system. You're applying to this system all these documents. And then, once the loan been originated, we're here. Disclosure will see all these documents. We'll verify those. We'll see that okay, kind of okay. We'll send the message to the borrower. Then we'll click some button. It changes state, and the transition to underwriting. And underwriter see that okay, we already had disclosure, and now I need to dig into the details and all this stuff. Exactly. So this is loan origination system. So what is the problem with the systems like ERP, obtaining this system, and CRM? Who remembers?
ERP is about production, but here it's about interest rates, about financial.
No, I mean what is the problem with the system which you are obtaining from external market for your business?
I guess probably the sensitivity of the information.
Yeah, but you are getting still this inside. The problem is that no one yeah?
maybe it's not flexible, not very looking for your
Not the fit for your needs. Exactly. The problem is there are a lot of solutions. You can be surprised, but there are a lot of solutions for this specific type of business. But none of that really has a good fit for our needs, our partner. So basically, what does it mean? This means that we need, to adapt this. We need to put some additional features there. So that is what we didn't talk about, but it's here. Brokers. Brokers are our customers. If we want to increase our business, we need to make work for brokers with us like more easy, better, and so on. This will help us, if broker have a lot of lenders, but broker can work like in a perfect way with a specific lender, when the borrower come to broker, where the broker will go? Of course, to us. Basically, we can increase, make enhancement on how we're working with the brokers. So this is user-friendly broker experience. This could be even loyalty program for brokers, right? That is what we talked about. In some cases, we are paying to broker. What does it mean for broker? This means that people who comes to broker, they don't need to pay for broker. Why wouldn't people could come to broker? By paying to broker or partially paying to broker instead of the borrower, we're just increasing the volume of our business. And there could be like CRM system for brokers. Every broker has a list of, of his customers, of his borrowers. And if the broker will have a single system, CRM, and we will provide this CRM, this basically means that we will have like contact lists of all, borrowers somewhere in our system. Doesn't mean we will use that, but this means that the person who works with us, the broker, he will be willing to proceed with us with this specific borrower. So this is what we can do, and actually our partner doing. The next thing is documentation, right? We talked about documentation. Yeah. So what can we do here? Reduce time, the manual verification. Exactly. What else we can do? Automatic documents classification. You can be surprised, or probably not, but I guess you heard this, modern words like machine learning, artificial intelligence. It's all here. Machine learning mechanism will review the documents, will classify the documents. So basically, right now, underwriters and disclosure, they don't need, to put these documents, look on all these documents. Once document being uploaded to our system, it's been analyzed. You see, here is this document, and this document is missing. And instead of verifying manually here everything, the guy who starts drinking coffee like early in the morning, he look at, the new loan, there are half of documents are missing. Okay, do you want to send information about that to the broker? Yes, click here, and he goes drink coffee. So this is great here. And also, there could be checking documents for forgery. Here you still have people, who don't have some documents, and they think, okay, I'll just put this stuff here, and then it will work. No, it can work if we have, human factor. Someone missed it, and we, on the underwriting stage, like after 3 weeks of work, we realize that there are some like scam. We don't have all necessary documents, which means that we cannot proceed with this loan. But basically, we already spent 2 weeks of our time of a lot of people. But by having this system, you can just avoid this stuff. And basically, this is an interesting example in terms of how to understand, your return of investment. You need to understand like what you will pay for, because this system can be costly, basically. All this machine learning mechanism, big data, we probably will have a time to talk about that, can cost a lot. But at the end, you're receiving this like in money, in real money, and in time of efforts which your company make it. And a lot of such things we also discussed. Automatic disclosures when some documents are missing, like we were sending this information right away. Automatic price calculation. At the beginning, we can say that here is the price you will receive. Borrower portal, this is like a borrower, goes for servicing. And in this portal, you can do all this stuff. Automatic borrower notification system for servicing, chatbot in chats, and so on and so on. So this is the digitalization process of this business looks like. Any questions here? For broker, well, broker this is his job, his business. His customers are borrowers, and lenders, it's basically his vendor. This is his partner, because once he agrees with this specific lender and with this specific borrower, broker received money. So you have to talk with both sides all the time. Or what do you mean? What question?
Because sometimes the lender pays the broker to find the borrower, but in another case, borrower pay brokers to find some lenders. It's rarely, but it happens because there's no practical needs for borrowers to pay the money to the broker.
I think that, I think that in this case, usually, like if you know specific lender you want, then you can avoid this borrower step. But usually when you don't know the lender, if some borrower cannot provide you, with the information, with the lender you need, with the program you satisfy, you most likely will just go to another broker. There are thousands of different brokers.
Most people have a partner as lender and then find different borrowers.
Partner at lender and find different borrowers. This is the business of company. Basically, company has a huge department which is working with the brokers and looking for new brokers and signing contracts with brokers, because brokers send in borrowers and money and then to our partner. That is why there is a huge focus. Our customer relationship management system is focused on brokers but not on the borrowers. This is a good question. Yeah, this is how it works.
Can you give some examples of brokers?
This is just usually people. Yeah, there can be like companies, broker company, how some agency, they have 12 different brokers, and they're the guy who is just, orchestrating all
Like
this
the
stuff.
system of selling and buying shares on stock exchange. So it's not possible for you to apply to stock exchange to buy some shares. You need to address to brokers. The same system like from your side.
Actually, you can. Like there is a way you can apply for lender, and all lender, understand that you can have some people who would like to apply to you directly, but people don't really know what needs to be done, and it's usually brokers' work. So we have some kind of internal brokers who help to work with the people. Yeah, so there is such practice. But usually the percentage of such people is small comparing to people from brokers. Okay, so we have, how much time we have?
25 minutes.
Okay, that's great. We have time for another example. I promised you some example from UCOM, but probably we have on time for one example. Which one do you want? Banking and big data or UCOM and Big Friday? Big data.
Let's discuss two of them.
I will be really quick here. Okay, let's start with this one. So basically, do you know what's Black Friday and Cyber Monday? Yes, of course you know that. But the thing that you probably don't really know is that I can say you that the business of e-commerce is really stick to Black Friday and Cyber Monday. You know why? Because these days they're receiving it's Green Week. They call it Green Week. During this Green Week, they can receive quarter of all money, yearly money, or even more. Basically, because you're receiving a lot of money here. And because of that, you're planning all your activities and digitalization based on the fact that, okay, in November, I will have Black Friday, and I will beat my competitors, and I will need to sell as much as I can. What does it mean for digitalization, for IT? This basically means that several things. So I will not provide you specific numbers, but there are every year there are a lot of analytical stuff in the United States, especially regarding how this Black Friday went. And they have different retailers, and they're just reviewing that this retailer was off for 5 minutes, they lost $3 million, or something like that, and so on. That is what Big Friday means. In this case, as a digitalization, you need to understand, you need to have, if you have new features, new features for, fancy features for our customers, you don't probably want, to release these features to production right before November. Because if it's tested badly and if it's not good enough, your system will be down, let's say 1 hour. And much better for you if your system will be done 1 hour any other day than during this Green Week. Because of money. This is capitalism. We're living in a capitalism. That is why it's pretty important to plan accordingly. What is else important is your system needs to be stable. Because otherwise, like the person who wants to spend some money, the person goes to your website, you cannot open this, what the person will do? I don't think the person will wait, refresh. The person will just go to your competitor, and you will lose this money. So this is actually very aggressive business, you know? The people get nervous there. Okay, I will not talk more about that. Let's go to big data. Do you know what big data is, right? For sure you know. You hear this big data or heard a lot about this big data stuff like for a lot of time. But basically, right now for big companies, big data is not an innovation. This is the reality. If your competitor, big company working with big data and you are not working with big data, this means that you are far behind. But big data can cost a lot. And let's draw something. I will be, really simplify the system. But for you to understand how the system works, which stages it have, you'll need to see, some diagrams. But it will be really easy diagrams. Has anyone heard anything about what is data lake? It's basically lake of a data, right? What does it mean in big data? It means that all the time when we're doing something, there is some information about us, like digital step of us somewhere. Everything. We are working with our phone. Where is my phone? You're working with the phone, like send some geolocation. You're buying some stuff, some coffee. This is something else. So everything what we're doing, this is some data. And huge companies, they're receiving this data, especially over internet. And especially in social network. If you're doing something, guys, be careful about that. I will have an example about that a bit later. So basically, data lake, this is some place where all this data been gathered. And some companies, big companies, which understand that, well, data is something we have to deal with. They don't even know how to use this specific data, but they will still gather this because probably who knows going forward, I will need this data. So I'll need to gather this data. So this is data lake. Huge amount of daily data there. Huge amount. You can't even imagine. Most of this amount of data probably will never be used. But it's stored somewhere. Someone knows how it's stored. There is some system, huge system. There is huge amount of data. So there is a data lake. But we cannot just work with data lake because who knows what's there. You need some systems which will, get some kind of data from data lake and put it, structurize it, put it to some tables. These are another systems. Then, to simplify that, you need some specialist, right? Some analytics. Data scientist, you probably heard this, data scientist, it's modern world. The data scientist, by the way, costs $150 per hour, so it's most important stuff. But the coolest data scientists, they know how to, out of this data, bring you money, specific money. That is why these guys are really costly. It's IT and business, cool IT and business stuff. Whatever, so these guys need to look at this data. Potentially, they can look at this data here in the tables, but it's not really useful, right? So you still need to deal with this data somehow. Look at this data, make some queries. And there are some, BI dashboards. So basically, systems which helps you to make this data-driven decision. So data lake, structurized data, data-driven decision. And at this point, or even at this point, you can see at some point, okay, I have this data. That's pretty cool. So I have a timestamps. I have, a place where the person purchased a coffee. And I know that every day this person purchasing a coffee in this area. So probably next time when I see that the person didn't purchase the coffee and he is near this, cafe or near any cafe, my partner, I will send push notification to him, to the person. Do you want a coffee? Or something like that. Or the better. personalization. We will talk about social networking, but personalization. Huge amount of data about us. Internet knows more about us than we do. And just be sure about that. Basically, you can define group of people by their habits, their level of income, by, I don't know, their friends with whom they're talking to each other, and you can check it by phones, by geolocation. So you can get every information you need. And you can make some assumption that, okay, here is a group of people, like pretty close to each other, not because they are friends, but they have similar habits. And this group of people, 80% of people in this group have mortgage, but 20% don't have. What does it mean? This means that potentially these people will want mortgage with a higher rate than any other people. Basically, what you can do, if you're a bank and you see this stuff, you can get this information to service you. Hey guys, just call to this guy and say that we have a good personalized mortgage program for this guy. You have a huge chance that the guy will accept this. So that is how big data works. But big data works, it's not cheap, right? Because like to organize all these systems, to analyze all this stuff, you can spend like a lot of time to build it. But right now, this is just a reality. So huge companies spending huge money, invest huge money in big data technology, in analyzing the data and all this stuff. About data, one more thing about data. So unexpectedly, Donald Trump, like elections that Donald Trump won. Do you remember that? You probably know about that. Do you know how he won the elections? Of course. And yeah, not only, actually Putin and then Russian hackers, but whatever. So, but what does it mean, social media?
Influencing through like different channels that are, there are some tools that persons that are interested in a particular thing and trying to attach.
Exactly. So actually, this is like open information. You can check it, and I have even like Cambridge Analytica company. You can see a lot of interviews with the guys from this Analytica company. What they actually do. Do you understand that? So based on likes on profile and all this stuff, they can understand that these people usually likes this and this and this, and these people are voters of Donald Trump. And these people are opponents of Donald Trump. So what you need to do? You need to show to these people good thing about Donald Trump and probably show where they can go and vote. And to these people, well, not a big chance that the people who would vote for Hillary Clinton will go and vote for Donald Trump. But what you can do? You can do something to make these people don't go and make vote. If you know about this person, specific information, for example, like where this person works, right, on the factory, you are getting some quote of Hillary Clinton about factories that will close factories, you will show it to these people, to this group of people. What this person will do? Well, this sounds like really bad for me. I probably will not go for vote. And you probably don't know that, but all analytical agencies was saying that Trump has no chances. I've been in the United States this time. I've been working for American Eagle, by the way, and I was watching this, like elections, how they are calculating votings. I've been watching it 4 hours, like a Champions League final, because this is a huge entertainment. So I was like, what's going on? Oh, really? And they're like, it's really interesting stuff. But anyway, so no one ever expected Donald Trump will win. But why is that? It's not like about big data, this is more about social engineering, but basically people, because of all this information stuff, which like Democrats was doing, that Donald Trump is this bad and this make people don't want to talk about that they will vote for Donald Trump. People were usually saying, I don't know, or I will not go voting and so on. So no companies have the specific data. For example, they have like Donald Trump 20%, Hillary Clinton 30%, 50%, I don't know. And most of this 50% was for Donald Trump. That is how he won, because this was smart campaigns based on data-driven campaigns. Okay. Guys, I think this is it. Do you have any questions?